He's not that scary. You could mess him up.
I always forget that I have another right.
Look how strong you are.
Thank you.
Tell us about Mello. Who's Mello?
Shit, I don't even know. You know, I don't like introducing myself. I'm Mello. I'm from California. I'm studying early childhood education because I want to be a teacher and kids are cool.
Kids are so cool.
Kids are so cool. I love my friends.
That is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about, maybe to whatever state you're comfortable with, your kind of experience with school?
Oh man, I know I'm studying to be a teacher, so that means I'm going to spend like pretty much the rest of my life in schools. But I actually hated school growing up. Like, I loved learning, but the teachers or the students or just like me caused issues that made it hard for me to have fun and enjoy it as much as I could have. Especially in middle school and high school, because that's when you're like starting to go through puberty and shit and dealing with mental health problems and all these changes. It's crazy. Honestly, I had a really hard time figuring out how to deal with that. Yeah. I struggled a lot with making friends because, you know, I didn't really talk to anyone. Like, no one knew what I sounded like. That's how bad it was. People would just automatically assume I wouldn't respond. So they never thought to try to talk to me. For those who did, I was too nervous to say anything because I wasn't used to it. It was just a really bad cycle. And the people who communicated with me most were my teachers because I had to turn in assignments. But also, I had really good teachers, especially in my later years of high school, who inspired me to pursue the career that I'm going after today. Hold on, I got hungry. Yeah. So I had a history teacher who was just different from all the rest. She didn't follow like what all the other teachers did, like the core curriculum or whatever. She taught us what we needed to know, and she taught us what we wanted to know. I think that's what's important when you're learning about the world, that it's important and it's relevant and it's something you're curious about.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm. So naturally, I was very excited for her classes, and I put in a lot of effort into the assignments I had to do for her compared to some of my other teachers. And so she saw what a lot of others didn't see. Although I couldn't talk, I had developed my own way of sharing my thoughts with the world. And I think I talked about this in our first interview together. I think it was my writing. You could hear my voice through my writing. There was like a very specific style to it that she saw and was so impressed by. She communicated with my other teachers and she was like, hey, I noticed this. This is what you could do to help. And that helped me a lot in high school. And that gave me a little bit of hope. And I realized maybe I want to do this too. Maybe I can be the person I needed, but for the younger kids so that they don't have to deal with the shit I did for all those years, you know?
What would you say is the biggest way you've changed in the past year?
Okay, I think physically, outwardly, my style, because for so many years, I had the shittiest style. I would wear the same leggings every day with like a hoodie. And you know, those are the basics. That's fine, you know, but there was nothing unique or anything that stood out about it. I was like, yeah, this is comfortable, but I could do better. And I started going thrift shopping more because, you know, I'm kind of broke. I kind of developed my own style and I'm really happy with how far I've gotten with that. But mentally, emotionally, socially, I'd say I had a lot of hate in my heart for a really long time, which I guess doesn't really sound like me, but I never really liked talking about it because I hated how much I hated the world. But I've come to love it more and see that I can appreciate all the little things and all the people who have put time and effort into caring for me and spending time with me and loving me, who have found that effort to not be a waste of their time at all because they love me.
What do you think got you over that hurdle?
My family, you know... Even look at him. Oh my god. Okay. What was the question again?
I was just asking what got you over that hurdle.
Starting in 2019, the summer of 2019, I started living with my uncle on my dad's side of the family. So I was with my uncle, my auntie, two of my cousins, and my auntie's grandparents. And I was going through a really rough patch in my life at the time. I didn't really have much faith in the world or could see a future for myself, but they treated me with so much love and care, as a family would. That took me by surprise. Even when they were mad at each other, they still loved each other. And that's something I've learned, that you can still love people, but, have bad times and good times and shit. And I saw that living with them. And those were experiences I didn't originally have growing up. Because growing up, I was taught if you were bad, then you were not loved, or you can't love things if you criticize it in any way. So that's kind of the mindset I had going into the world. Like, oh, all these bad things have happened, so nothing good can happen, nothing good can come out of this. But they showed me, hey, maybe I'm a little annoyed that I have to drive you everywhere to work and shit when you're an adult, but I'm still gonna do it anyways, because I know, because you need it, and I care for you.
What advice would you give to someone who is having a hard time seeing a future for themselves right now?
Brad, I'm trying to answer that question for myself right now. Honestly, even if right now you might not love yourself or see the point in taking care of yourself now, future you, the you an hour from now or tomorrow in a few years, will thank you for taking care of yourself. Often in the mornings or over the day, I'll be like, I don't want to eat. I don't feel like eating. But then I think about it and I'm like, but what happens if I don't eat? I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so miserable. I should have eaten. So I eat a little bit. I know I'll appreciate it that I did this for myself. And it's just constantly being kind to yourself, even when you don't want to be. Like taking care of pets. I used to take care of my cousin's dogs. Sometimes they wouldn't want to do things, like they wouldn't want to go outside. And it's just like, you gotta do this. It's for your own sake. Like even though they don't want to do it, it's good for them. So you gotta make them do it anyways.
Tough love.
Mm-hmm.
There's still love there, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good advice, Mello.
Thank you. You want a kiss?
Thanks for talking with me today.
Thanks for talking with me today. If you don't come in the summer, I'm gonna come to Canada myself and beat your ass.
You're gonna bring a ladder?
I am gonna bring a ladder. What about it?
Just making sure.